Hey guys, it's Smithy here, and today I'm going to be talking about the new Titanfall beta that was released. And I did manage to get my hands on a beta key after hours of begging on Twitter, but I did manage to get one, and I also did get a spare one from someone else, so we will be doing a giveaway of that. So make sure you subscribe and like for more videos, and to make sure you're entered into that draw. So yeah, we've been recently doing a new Titanfall beta series, and today I just wanted to give my opinion on the game. So right from the start of the game, you can feel that it's a new, fresh design. You've never seen anything like it before. The gameplay feels really smooth, partly due to the fact of the parkour ability with the wall running, the wall grab, and the double jump. So that kind of gives it a Mirror's Edge feel, and it has a Call of Duty kind of playing style, which is not surprising considering it was made by the people that made Modern Warfare 2, who actually split off and made Respawn Studios, which are the people that made the game. So yeah, it feels like a mix of Mirror's Edge and Call of Duty. It's a really fast-paced game, and it has big open maps like Battlefield, or even like Call of Duty Ghosts. The maps are pretty big on that as well. So it feels really big, but there's always a central place for action in each map. But there's only been 2 maps released in the beta, so I can't guarantee that for every single map. But from the 2 maps, there is always action going on somewhere. Although they are big maps, it just seems that they get filled very quickly, and it's a very fast-paced game. So when you spawn with the choice of 3 classes in the beta, which is the Smart Pistol, which is a pistol that automatically locks onto enemies and allows you to hip fire and bend bullets, which is very good if you're a sneaky kind of player and you want to get behind enemy lines and take them out quick. And then there's the Assault class, I think it's called, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's actually a shotgun. So the shotgun is 2 hits from normal range, or 1 hit with a headshot. From long range it's not very good, and from previous use with the shotgun it's not great. It might even be powered more in the final version, because of course this is only a beta. So then the final class you get in the beta is the I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember what the class is called, but it's an assault rifle with a HCOG sight on it, which is basically a holographic sight. And yeah, that is by far my favourite gun to use so far in the game. But you also do get a submachine gun to try out, and a sniper. So the class loadout's kind of quite complicated, I guess, as you have the gun itself, you have a secondary, and then you have an anti-Titan weapon. Now the anti-Titan weapons are used to take down the Titans, that I will explain later. The Titans are ginormous robots, mechanical robots that can be controlled, or you can let the computer control them for you. So I'll go into that in a bit. But the anti-Titan weapons are basically to take them down. They're super effective against the Titans themselves, although they do take a lot of hits. I think it's the Archer, Heavy Rocket, and the Sidewinder at the moment. The Sidewinder's like a death machine with explosive rounds, and the Archer's just a massive rocket launcher. So yeah, they're quite effective against the Titans themselves. But moving on to the next part of the class, you have the Tier 1 kit, which is like, you have, I think it's called the Minion Finder, which is basically, in the game you have the players, but you also have computer generated bots running around the maps, and basically I don't really know why they added that. I don't know if it's just so there's always action somewhere on the map. If it is, then that's a really good idea, because it does keep you interested. But at the end of the day, you don't really want to be going for them kind of kills. You want to be killing the pilots themselves, because that gives you more XP and just generally makes you feel better if you kill an actual human rather than an AI. And the AI are not very good. They're extremely easy to kill. I don't think I've ever been killed by one. So yeah, that's for the Tier 1 kit. You have that, and you also have a tactical ability, which you can choose from Cloak, which makes you invisible for a certain period of time, or you can choose one called Stim, which makes you run super fast for the same amount of time as you could go invisible for with Cloak. So the next thing is the Ordinance, and the Ordinance is basically your grenades. So at the moment you can only use the frag grenade or the arc grenade. The frag grenade is, you know what a frag grenade is, it just splits off into little frags to injure enemies. And the arc grenade is an electric grenade that distorts the vision of Titans and players. So it makes it very hard to control the Titans if you're actually using them and you get hit by one of these. So I should have said this before, but there's actually 2 tier kits, if that makes sense. There's 2 of the tier kits. So you can choose from enhanced parkour kit, which makes you allows you to wall run and wall hack for increased periods of time. There's the explosives pack, which increases your ordnance ammo capacity as a pilot, so basically it gives you more grenades. And the power cell accelerates the recharging of your pilot's tactical ability, so that speeds up the reload time of the cloak or the super speed or the stim as it's called in this game. So the next is the tier 2 kits. So you can actually get the dome shield battery, which this piece of kit extends the duration of your Titan's dome shield after the Titan fall. So when the Titan falls down from the ground, it actually gets a dome placed around it, so it's impenetrable and it can't be destroyed straight away. These are quite useful if you're just trying to get away from battle and you need to hop into your Titan. It's nice and easy to hop into your Titan through a shield so that no one can shoot you through it. And then there's the warp fall transmitter, which is accelerates your Titan's fall substantially using short range jump technology. So this basically means that it allows your Titan fall to jump slightly. I think your Titan to jump. I'm not 100% sure. I've never used it, so I can't completely comment wholeheartedly on that. But then there's also the minion detector, which I explained earlier, which shows you which ones are grunts and spectres, which are the AI, and which ones are actually pilots or players. So then you can also change your gender as well in the game. So that's all I wanted to say for the pilots. So now moving on to the Titans themselves. The Titans are activated in a certain period of time, and that period of time can be shortened when you get kills or capture hard points or get assists for kills. And the Titans themselves, you'd think if you're running around in a mech machine that you'd be extremely overpowered, but it's so well balanced between the two, the pilots and the Titans, that you don't feel any kind of overpoweredness. If anything, they're actually underpowered, and can quite easily be destroyed if they're what's called rodeoed. So say you see an enemy Titan and you're behind it, you can actually jump on top of that Titan, rip off its helmet and start shooting into it. This is near impossible to defend because you'd actually have to get out of your Titan, shoot the person off and get back in the Titan, and by this time the Titan can be destroyed, you've lost health, you could die or anything like that. So it's actually quite easy to destroy the Titans while you're rodeoing them. And the Titans themselves are quite slow and lethargic to move, so they don't maneuver very well, and they can be shot down really easily. The weapons on the Titans themselves, you can choose from a chain gun, which is basically a massive minigun, which it's my favourite choice, my personal favourite choice of all of them. And the next one is the 40mm cannon, which is basically, it shoots explosive rounds like a Sidewinder does, kind of. It's average because it's quite hard to shoot fast with it and to get the kills quickly that you need to get, because it's such a fast-paced game. The third weapon is the quad rocket. The quad rocket actually fires 4 rockets at a time, and is quite useful from close range and if you see someone that doesn't see you. But if you're in a situation where you need to be shooting quickly against another Titan, this probably isn't the right one to choose. So within the game, you can actually select the pilot loadouts or the Titan loadouts. So I've already explained to you the pilot loadouts, but now I'm going to explain the Titan loadouts. So you can choose from a chassis, which basically determines the look and feel of your Titan itself. At the moment there's only the Atlas, but I think there will be one called the Ogre, and I can't quite remember the name of the other one. But the Atlas gives you medium health, medium speed, medium acceleration. So that's the kind of the mediocre one, the one in the middle. And then you have the Ogre, which I think will be the heavily armored one, which will be a lot more durable but a lot slower. And then there's the I can't remember the name of it, but the one that will be a lot faster and a lot faster to shoot, and unlimited dash I think you get with it, because it's actually which will be very useful if you're trying to evade situations. So that's that for the chassis. I've already explained the primary weapons, and you also get a tactical ability as a Titan, and you get what's called a vortex shield, which basically it catches all the bullets fired towards you, and when you release the left bumper, it will fire them back at the enemies. This is an extremely good attack if the other person doesn't catch them back. Otherwise, you're just playing catch basically, and one of you will get destroyed by your own bullets. So yeah, that's a good thing to have on. There's also the electric smoke, which just deploys a dense electrically charged smoke cloud that damages enemy titans and pilots. It can be used in many ways. One of the most common is to kill enemy pilots who are attempting to rodeo your Titan, as I explained before. So if they're trying to rodeo you, you just release the smoke and hope for the best, really. So again, you have an Ordinance, which are just like the grenades, but the default one is a rocket salvo, which rapidly fires a swarm of unguided rockets. So it randomly fires them, and they can be effective if you hit, but if you don't hit, then it's wasted a lot of time. And in these Titan battles, you need to be really quick and good at decision making, otherwise you will just die, because usually you'll get outgunned. The next one is the slaved warheads, which are actually lock-on missiles, but they do shoot a lot slower. They're quite useful for long range kind of kills, but in short range you'd probably want to be using a rocket salvo. So again, you have a tier 1 kit and a tier 2 kit. So for the tier 1 kit, there's a choice between a nuclear rejection, which means after you eject your Titan, it briefly charges and then detonates its nuclear core, dealing massive amounts of damage to all nearby enemies. So basically, when your Titan gets low on health, you triple tap X and it will eject you really high into the air. And basically what this kit does is it blows up your Titan. So after you've ejected out of it, and it will explode and it will kill any nearby enemies. So the next one is the regen booster. So when you're in your Titan, you have a health system. So you have a shield and you actually have the Titan's health. The Titan's health can't be regenerated, but its shields can. So basically what this does is it allows the shields to regenerate faster. The next thing you have is the fast autoloader. This basically replenishes your ordnance faster, so it makes it quicker to shoot your rockets with the right bumper. So for the tier 2 kits, you have the auto eject, which automatically ejects you as soon as your Titan is basically going to die. So that's quite useful in situations where you would have been killed. And survivor is the last one for the tier 2 kit. So this will mean your Titan will lose health at a lower rate when it's about to die, so allowing you to fight longer before having to abandon the Titan itself. So that's it for the Titans. And one thing I didn't mention before are these things called burn cards. Burn cards are things that you can use in only one life. So a burn card can be anything from a most wanted list, which means scoring hits on pilots earns extra XP and reduces build time. So as I explained before, your Titan has a build time in the game, and it gets reduced when you get kills and so forth. And basically this card, when activated, reduces the build time every time you get a kill. And there's other things such as rematch, where it means you respawn exactly where you died, so you can go and kill the person that killed you. And there's stuff like called amped. There's a section called amped, which means that you can you get them for all different kinds of weapons, and it means you basically upgrade your weapon and makes it more lethal and less hits to kill. You can only carry three burn cards into one match at a time. So basically that you can only use 3 in a game. Usually I don't actually use 3 in a game, I usually forget about them, but they can be quite useful in tight situations. So yeah, there's 3 types of game types in the game so far in the beta, which are attrition, hardpoint, and last Titan standing. So attrition is a team deathmatch style game. It's just effectively team deathmatch with a point system, and the first team to get points, the most points win. There's a score limit, not a time limit. I don't think there's a time limit in the games. And then hardpoint is domination. That's all you have to say about it. Anyone who plays gaming, anyone who plays first-person shooters will know what domination is. Or anyone who's played Call of Duty will know what domination is. And I guess you can tell from the name, Last Titan Standing is basically a mass free-for-all with where you spawn in a Titan and it's the last person to stay alive that wins. I haven't actually tried that game type yet, and I hope to do so in the future. So this game is different in many ways because of the start and the finish of the game. You actually start you get spawned into a kind of spaceship kind of thing, and you actually you jump out of the spaceship to start the game. And at the end, if your team has been defeated, you have to get to the evac point, where there will be a helicopter, a ship that lands, and you have to get into that ship without being killed, and escape. So basically, that kind of merges search and destroy into a kind of any kind of game type, because once you die, you don't respawn, and it's basically trying to get to a point without dying. That's only if you've been defeated. But if you've won, you actually have to stop the other people from getting to their evac point. And yeah, that's a really great feature. It makes it really original and not samey at all. And as a beta, this has been one of the best games I've ever played, and that is no overstatement. It's diversity from any other game, and it's just so fun. Just makes it one of the best games I've ever played, and I think this could quite possibly kill Call of Duty, or definitely challenge it for a top spot in the first-person shooter category. So thank you for listening. This has been my review of the Titanfall beta. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Be advised, Titan ready in 30 seconds.
Hey, you're getting close to a hard point. It's somewhere inside a building. Check your map. Hardpoint Bravo's in that building up ahead. Get inside and patch me into the terminal.
You got it. Stand by for Titanfall.
Okay, boss, you're close to a hard point. Check your map. It's inside a building.
Engaging follow mode.
It's over, guys. We lost. Fall back to base.
Forget it, pilot. It's time to get out of here. Check your HUD and get to the nearest evac point. Move. Auto Titan engaging pilot.
You're unstoppable. Rock and rolling.
I've set the drop ship. Hurry. Okay, you're at the evac point. Now stay